Hello, I'm Juliana, and today we're going to be making Rice Krispie treats. So this is a really good recipe for kids because it's pretty simple to make and it doesn't require any baking. So let's get started. So most of this recipe is actually on the stovetop, so I'm going to be recording from the stovetop instead of the normal table. This is also a great recipe to add other stuff in, so you could add in M&Ms, pretzels, different types of things that you could just mix into it and just spice it up. You could also add food coloring to it, make it like, I don't know, Christmas colors or whatever. You add chocolate chips. You could do anything you want with this recipe. So for that, like, you would add in all those toppings after you mix in the cereal. So once that's mixed in, you add in all your toppings, mix that in, and then you would press it down into your pan. Alright, so the first thing you want to do when making Rice Krispie treats is melt down your marshmallows. So first, I'm going to turn on my burner, and then I'm going to add in about 3 tablespoons of butter, unsalted butter. I'm just going to melt that in there until it's all melted. Okay, so now that it's all melted in there, I'm going to make sure my flame is on low heat. Now I'm going to add in a full pack of miniature marshmallows. You could also use the big ones. They're about the same. It's about 40 of the big marshmallows is the equal amount to the mini ones. So we're just going to add the full bag. And if you have a bigger pan, I do suggest using a bigger pan. And then you're just gonna stir that and melt it in there until it's completely melted. And it should melt pretty fast. And make sure that you're folding from underneath the pan as well so that none of it burns. Alright, so now as you can see, my marshmallows are pretty much completely melted, and now it's I'm gonna turn off the heat, and I'm gonna add in 6 cups of Rice Krispie cereal. This is about like half a box, so you don't need the full box. Also, if you find that it's easier to mix in parts, then do that. But you're gonna see it's gonna come together pretty fast. And be careful because it is still hot. So I would use a knife if you're gonna scrape off any of the stuff off the spatula. Okay, so it may seem like there's way too much cereal at first, but once you mix it really well, you can see that this is the consistency you want, and it will come together, and it's very stringy. If you want, you can add some milk in case you think that your mixture is too dry. But I think mine is pretty good. So now that it's all mixed together, all we have left to do is to transfer it to a pan, and I will show you that. Okay, so here I have a 13 by 9 pan, and you can either use some butter to, like, you know, go around and butter it up, or you could use spray. I'm just gonna use spray. And you're gonna make sure to want to transfer it while it's still hot, because it is going to firm up. So I'm just gonna pour this in my pan. And then you're gonna start to press it down. And actually, a little trick for pressing it down, take your spatula or whatever you're using to press it down and spray it, because otherwise, so this makes it so that your mixture isn't sticking to your spatula. And now it's a lot easier to lay down. I'm just gonna lay it all the way down. Now I've completely flattened it down into my pan, and now all that's left is to let it cool down. You could either do this by just leaving it out and letting it cool completely, or you could put it in the fridge. Either way works. And then once it's completely cooled, you just cut it into squares. So I'll be back when it's completely cooled. Okay, so our last step is to cut it. So I'm just going to use a normal knife and I'm going to cut it into rectangles. And you may want to butter your knife if you need it, but I don't think you will, because it should be completely cooled by now and your marshmallow won't be sticky. Okay, so I cut them all into rectangles, and as you can see, it should be about this big. So now you are all done and it's ready to eat, and I hope you had fun and you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye!